I want to talk to you today about disappointment with God. Disappointment means having your expectations or wishes unfulfilled. So when we talk about having disappointment with God, we talk about having your expectations about God unfulfilled. Is that normal? Does that happen a lot? Absolutely. I get letters from people often, new Christians, old Christians that say, I don't get it. I don't understand why I've prayed and prayed and prayed and my loved one is not saved. Or my spouse just still can't see the problems in our marriage. It refuses to get help. The heart is still really hardened. I pray for my child to get off drugs and to get his or her life back together. And my prayers go unanswered. I've asked for God to heal my child. I had children that had chronic illnesses and, they didn't get better. In fact, often got worse. And sometimes when the harder I'd pray, the sicker the child would get, or the more complicated, and it became extremely frustrating. And it is a threat to our faith, because when your faith is challenged and you feel that God has not met your expectations, you can actually become disappointed with God, disappointed to where you feel that God has let you down. And maybe, and I've seen this happen sometimes, maybe God isn't real. Maybe God doesn't love you. Maybe God isn't there for you. Maybe God doesn't care for you as much as someone else. All those are lies. None of those things are true. And all of those come directly out of having expectations about God that are not reasonable. God doesn't promise us that our life will be perfect. He doesn't promise us. In fact, he promises us the opposite. He tells us that we're living in a sinful world where people are broken, where there's pain, and when people are hurt, they hurt other people. There's sickness and death and decay and problems in this world. All of us are affected by. Doesn't, because we're saved, because our children are saved, because we ask God and pray, doesn't mean he guarantees that in our little world, everything is going to be fine. Things happen, financial devastation happens. We do the best we can. We pray, we ask God to guide our decisions and lead us to where we should live and who we should marry and what we should do for work and, maybe how you should invest your money. And when it doesn't turn out, all of a sudden we say, wow, did God lead us wrong? Did God lead you wrong? Did God give you the wrong information? Was this punishment? I mean, we've just really got to be careful in the expectations that we have, that we not get disappointed with God and fall away from our faith because things haven't worked like we expected things to work in our life. God's there no matter what. We don't know from looking at people on the outside what their inner pain is and what the circumstances in their world are. They might look all together now, but their life might have had severe problems before. They might have severe problems right now that you don't even know about. Don't look around you at church and think everybody else has got it all together and their life is perfect, because you don't know. Also, there's a time and a season where we have good times and where times are not as good. So if you're in that season where things are not working as well for you as you would like them to be for various problems, maybe this is that season in your life where, as everybody has, things just aren't really good right now. But the problem and the fear and the concern is not to allow that disappointment or unfulfilled expectation to separate you from your faith. The faith, which in the absence of things being perfect, still needs to be faith. Faith where you can still believe, still trust God, no matter what. David said in the Psalm, though he slay me, yet will I trust him, no matter what. I sometimes think when we see the Lord that the main thing that he's going to look at us and say is, regardless of what happened to you, did you still trust me? Did you still believe in me? Did you still hang on? And that is what matters. So regardless of what's going on, can we just trust him? Can it just be that what happens is not something that pulls us away from God, but allows us to pull closer to God? Be very careful what your expectations are and pay attention to how those expectations are affecting your view of God and your relationship with God. And if you're starting to struggle in that, go back and ask yourself, what did I expect? And Was that expectation reasonable? Proverbs 13:12 tells us that hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Hope deferred, hope that didn't happen, unfulfilled hope, makes our hearts sick. Be careful that that sickness doesn't affect your relationship with the Lord. And John 16:33 promises us, these were Jesus's words, you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. This world is temporary, but our faith is eternal. So I would encourage you, no matter what, do not allow yourself to become disappointed with God. Thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship, and may God bless you today with faith that endures no matter what you are experiencing with in your life.